Welcome to Royal Secrets. According to a fresh report, Harry freaked out after Meghan threatened to dump him. According to the fresh allegations, Meghan wanted the public to understand how serious their relationship was. The stunning assertion that Meghan threatened to dump Harry if he didn't publicly acknowledge they were dating has been made in a new book. The enlightening assertions were made by author Valentine Lowe in his recent book, Courtiers: The Hidden Power Behind the Crown, which describes the ultimatum he asserts Meghan allegedly issued Harry. According to an excerpt from the book that was published in The Times, Harry grew determined to protect his new partner as he faced hordes of journalists eager to delve into her life, but she wanted them to go public with how serious they were. She threatened to end their relationship if he didn't publicly disclose that she was his girlfriend, according to the book. Harry was distraught. According to another person, he was freaking out and saying, "She's going to dump me." The Duke and Duchess of Sussex have been approached by Express.co.uk for comment. Montecito's Meghan. She has moved on from the firm. Santa Barbara now has a polo team, thanks to Harry. The children are flourishing. She is now ready to perform her next performance. The circumstances are favorable for confession. In a magnificent sitting room in a beautiful home, on a beautiful August day in Montecito. A boisterous 3-year-old named Archie Harrison Mountbatten Windsor, who shares his father's shock of ginger locks, toddles into the room and demands that Mama use a wooden toy stethoscope to listen to his heartbeat. He stands with his stomach out, his mother Meghan acting out her delight at hearing the thump 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 in his chest. Archie chuckles before toddling out the door once more. In a comfortable chair, Meghan takes in the view of all that is climate-controlled, high-ceilinged, sun-dappled, and deliciously marshmallowy, as well as her own. She claims that the founder of Soho House, Nick Jones, is a friend from far before I met Harry, and an invisible hand has lit a rose-water candle from that company, filling the room with the perfume of roses, while the soft sounds of a flamenco-influenced guitar drift from a speaker. Then, when there is a pause in the talk, Meghan bends down and whispers in my ear, "Do you want to know a secret?" No longer silent, Meghan scans the area to make sure no one or who might be listening in. Then comes the big reveal. "I'm getting back on Instagram," she announces with a gleam in her mischievous eyes. Possibly a troll was behind this. It seems as though Meghan, who has been so harassed by the media, is serving it back a little bit by saying nothing with such gravitas. It is, however, news, as I immediately understand. She was simply Meghan Markle before this period in her life, before all the challenges that resulted from her marriage to the Duke of Sussex and, along with him, the British monarchy. She had a prominent role on a USA procedural and moderately successful lifestyle blog, The Tig. She had gathered 3 million Instagram followers under her own name by posting brief glimpses into her everyday life, including Guy, her beagle, yoga, and the food she enjoyed. Fans observed her attending charity galas, gatherings with her Suits co-stars, and nights out at Soho House in Toronto and London. Before she met Harry, she managed that account for years, but after their engagement, she handed up ownership of it, along with the Tig, her passport, and the right to receive her own mail. She claims that while she had enjoyed sharing her life with others, she loved Harry more. Going from that level of autonomy to a different existence required a lot of adjustment, according to Meghan. Harry, Kate, and Will were allowed to join Meghan on the pre-existing @Kensington Royal account, which she had no control over. She says there is literally a structure that states that in order to release photos of your child as a family member, you must first give them to the Royal Rota, the UK media pool. Before she could share the pictures herself, the pictures would typically be on media. Meghan found that unsettling considering her tense relationship with British tabloids. The Daily Mail described her as Harry's girl is nearly straight outta Compton, and the fact that she would soon become a mother and need to safeguard her own child. She asks, still agitated, "Why would I share a photo of my child before I can share it with the people who adore my child, the very people who are calling my children the N-word? I'll play that game when you explain how that makes sense." Before Archie was born, in April 2019, Meghan and Harry started their own Instagram account, @SussexRoyal, which gained 1 million followers in just 6 hours. They broke their own news and refused to participate in the exchange game by releasing pictures that occasionally didn't even make it to the Royal Rota. They shut down at Sussex Royal shortly after declaring their formal resignation from their royal responsibilities. They were no longer permitted to brand themselves as royal. Meghan later stated in an interview with Fortune that she had had enough of the harassment on social media and had no intention of returning. This revelation is evidence that she and Harry have moved past all the turbulence that has characterized their past 3 years, in addition to being newsworthy. When asked why she consented to participate in the interview in the first place, she responds, "Especially now, with Archetypes coming out." The couple secured 2 high-profile deals with Netflix and Spotify in 2020, and the first eagerly anticipated release from those agreements is the podcast Meghan hosts called Archetypes. She discusses how women are unfairly categorized in each episode while chatting with her well-known acquaintances, an experience Meghan notes she has gone through and is now ready to talk about. However, progress consists of both small movements forward and large leaps backward. Meghan would later admit that she wasn't sure if she would actually return to Instagram. She has received media training and subsequent royal media training, and at times during our conversation, it seems as though she has a tiny bachelor producer in her head dictating what she says. Instead of responding to a question, she once said, "She's making these guttural sounds, and I can't quite articulate what it is she's feeling in that moment because she has no word for it, she's just moaning." But at this point, post-royal media training, she is no longer in as any millennial woman whose feminism was forged in the girl-boss era would understand. She is throwing open the metaphorical doors to her life. She has taken a hardship and turned it into content.